Here we go. So here we are doing our trail hike again, and as you probably remember from the past 4 miles, it was mainly done on foot. I mean, there was a short spot where I rode from the Rainbow Dam to the Crooked Falls area, and then with the exception of a few spots on the hills where it's flat and it was easily rideable by bike, I pretty much did everything by foot. Now you'll notice that you don't hear the wheels of the bike. That's because to make this trip, I wanted to get through number 1 where we've already been quickly, and it really doesn't make sense to bring a bike with the exception of some of those stretches. So having a bike doesn't really help on these trails unless you're a real good bike rider and you're not trying to film anything. And not having the bike leaves the walking and filming unhindered. So hopefully we'll be able to get through this rather quickly. I still tried to time it out though, and I was still coming out to be about 10 minutes per half mile. So yeah, that makes 20 minutes per mile, which is essentially what we were doing in the first place. But it's nice because I can now change hands. One gets tired. I did bring a bottle of water with me too this time. Had nice being able to swig on that every checkpoint. And that's kind of important to understand when I'm starting this trail hike over again, is that I'm starting from Cochrane Dam, which was our destination, well, a checkpoint from the previous 4 videos, which means I walked those 4 miles. Well, I just walked those 4 miles again. This time, I don't have the bike with me, but essentially I'm already quite winded just at the start of this video. In this area here, there's no place to park a car or anything. You have to walk to this point, and then from this point walk to the next point, which is our destination, which is Ryan Dam. So yeah, it's I'm already winded at this point, and so a lot of the video from this point onward is just me huffing and puffing, a little bit of conversation going on, but not too much. I think there's a little bit more on the second part of this on mile 13. Basically just me yammering about the dam being nearby. I'm not sure if I'm going to be covering this in the video. I can't remember what I talked about while I was on the actual trail. If I repeat it, I repeat it. Say la vie. The reason why I'm doing this walk, this hike, is it's technically the very last time probably that I would have a semi-nice day, between 50 and 60 degrees, and well, at least before springtime. Later on next week, we are looking to snow for about 4 or 5 days, and even after the snow stops, they're saying that the temperatures are just going to be between 30 and 40 degrees. So it looks like fall time, winter time, is essentially here. Once that bit of snowy weather hits us next week, suddenly we're in the first week of November. With the odds of it getting warm enough and the trail being dry enough to actually do a walk like this. There's absolutely no chance. Now, the day following, Friday, it was also to be warm, but because I'm doing a graveyard shift, and then I do another graveyard shift on Friday night, I was being real with myself. There's no way I'd be even motivated to doing this type of walk, this 13-mile walk. Because you have to remember that when walking this way, every mile that I walk toward the destination is another mile I'm going to have to walk back. And so, true, it's only 6.5 miles or so to Ryan Dam from Rainbow Dam, but it's another 6.5 miles coming back. And so I ended up being quite tired by it all. I mean, when I initially went to Cochrane Dam, starting out, already I'm a third way done with my walking. And then I go down to Ryan Dam and come back to Cochrane Dam, that's another third, and then going back home. Well, at least going back to the vehicle. Needless to say, the final third was probably the most exhausting and painful experiences that I've had to put up with in, at least the past couple months. This was a rough trek. It really was. And I'm actually kind of glad that winter time is here. So let's go ahead and talk about my videos, about the original daily 3D vlog. If I have any regulars on here, you've probably noticed that the vlogs haven't been coming out daily. They've been coming out like every day and a half or 2 days. And because of that, it's starting to wane. I mean, you probably saw some of the dates at the beginning of the video, and it's like, wait a minute, that's not the date, that's a week ago, or that's 8 days ago. And that's just it. When you do a vlog every day and a half, 2 days, it has a tendency to delay those days. And so you'll probably notice at the very beginning of this vlog, I just wiped that date away. I just went bam, it's gone. I kept the episode number, the series 2, day 149, and I'm not quite sure on how I'm going to work this. I mean, when I'm saying that something is a season, should I try to go through until 365 days and then bam, count that as season 2? Because there's, on the occasional days where, I miss a day here or whatever, and once it gets down to 365 days, guess what? We're going to be at VidCon 2013. It's like this daily vlog is going to start with VidCon and it's going to end with VidCon. And it's not technically going to end. What I might do, if that ends up being the case, is right before VidCon starts, like a week before VidCon starts, I may just go bam, season 2 is done with, and then VidCon 2013 starts, and then I will say that's the beginning of season 3, and we'll just start the clock over again. That's probably what I'm going to do with this. It seems to be the most logical way. You know, this vlog, it's not like a Shay Carl vlog, where if Shay misses a day, suddenly there's comments, you go, you missed a day, how can you, I'm gonna end it all, you know. And if Shay misses a day, people know this. I mean, he does, you know, 200,000, 300,000 views per video, per daily video, and again, people know this. Now, I found out, you know, like even my videos this last week, I haven't reached 10 views, you know, in the past 4 videos or so. And it gets me wondering if it's really worth the effort. I mean, I love putting the videos up, and I'll keep on putting the videos up, and just like I'm trekking over these hills on the path, slowly but surely, trying to reach my destination, so I'm going to also try to reach my destination as far as, you know, getting this year's worth of videos done. But to say it's going to be 365 videos a year, I can't say that. There's not a lot of footage I have. I've been having some crazy ideas of some things that I want to do, whether it be in these next few months or when springtime hits. That's probably when it's going to be. You know, once the winter weather starts setting in, I'm probably going to go, well, I just might as well stick around for another, you know, until after Christmas, spend the holidays with my family, and then try to get out of here. It's the winters that really kind of, not so much the cold, not so much, you know, the snow and icy roads. No, the problem I have with winter is the fact that you really can't get out and do anything. You can't explore, you can't exercise unless it's in like a health club or your own home. It really does restrict you, and you know, I kind of would like to start getting more into what we're seeing here with my vlogs. Not that I'm going to always be showing a step-by-step, foot-by-foot, yard-by-yard, mile-per-mile trek places, but if I got out a little bit more and I started walking, you know, quite a few miles, I probably would get in shape. And I need a better climate in order to do that. So, you know, where can a person go to enjoy the climate and scenery, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. And I'd also like to be closer to VidCon. So, yeah, I am looking at moving down south. Maybe true that my vehicle it probably wouldn't pass the emissions test in California. I probably have to look into getting a different vehicle, but that's third priority. I mean, the first priority is a job, and the second one is someplace to live. My mom thinks it's something different, that she says it's the place to live, and then the job. It's like, well, how do you do that? There are ways to be homeless without being homeless, and it's just a matter of, while you have the job, try to save up a little bit so that you can, spend what money you need to spend to have a place to stay, and until you can actually get someplace farmable, someplace that you can actually call home. So I've been having some ideas with this. I'm not going to reflect on these ideas because, let's face it, the fun is seeing the videos of them, because if I get these videos up, well, they go, well, yeah, you could do something like that, huh? Yes, you can. There are affordable ways, in other words. One of the affordable ways I wouldn't be able to show on camera, because they don't allow cameras. It's cheap, but they don't allow cameras. And that I might have a problem with because, well, I'm a vlogger, aren't I? And I'm trying to get a video up as close to every day as possible. And I might want to look into making a little bit extra expense so that I might be allowed to do so. Alright, something that I didn't really mention in this walk because I didn't know. I mean, I saw it when I was walking, of course, but you can kind of see off to the left-hand side, on the other side of the river, there's like a farm or something, kind of a homestead over there. You see some of the bushes and everything like that. That's kind of close to where the dam is. That's even a little bit further out than the dam itself. So, I mean, it's kind of gives you a general idea of that there's a bit of a walking distance there, but it's really not that much. And keep in mind that, objects going through the camera are actually a lot closer than they actually appear too. So that place looked like it was actually closer than it was when I was doing the walking. Okay, back to what we were talking about before. Another thing I was thinking, like with VidCon, and I thought that was a heck of an idea, was instead of doing the motel, just stay at a campground that has showers available, whatever, because they do have campgrounds near Anaheim. Or actually in Anaheim, they've got them. And it'd be like about less than a mile from the convention center. And but I started looking at the daily rates of these places. And it turns out that the daily rates of a campground near Disneyland, Anaheim and everything, I didn't find any for under $50 a day. So it doesn't really make sense to stay at a campground for $50, braving the elements or whatever, and or making a reservation a month early at one of the cheaper motels for $65 a day. It's pretty much worth it for that extra $15, and so it was an idea, but it's kind of funny when you look at campground prices that the prices end up getting, as you get closer to a tourist attraction, they start zipping up. If you camp someplace, a nice campground like in Northern California, whatever, out of the way of any place, you can usually get there for about $25 per day. And if you start going into more of a tourist area, yeah, it doubles. So that kind of shot the idea as far as VidCon went anyway. Alright, see, I got about 5 minutes here to talk, 4 or 5 minutes. The key, though, as far as trying to find a place to live or try to find a place to be, is to be able to stay someplace, affordably, um, without actually taking advantage of anybody. And it is doable. I mean, there are ways of doing it. I just been kind of weighing my options with it. The funny thing is, though, and even going along with the campground idea, when I started to do this walk, I was, well, I mean, I was thinking about the campground. Wow, these are great ideas. Ooh, But when I started to do this walk, it was like 32 degrees. And all I could do was complain and moan inside my head when starting this walk that it's so cold and I hope the wind doesn't kick up. And then it's like, man, what are you thinking? I mean, first you're trying to say you're going to camp out some places, and now you're like whining because it's above freezing and it's supposed to warm up within the next hour or so, But the key is not to take advantage of anybody with it. I was, and I feel like ranting right now. I just, when I got off of work today, I was just like, it's kind of frustrating because it's just like, you're at your job and you're scheduled to be off of work at a certain time, and the you hope that your relief arrives so that they can take over and you can get your work done. But it's kind of a frustrating thing when here it is, like 8 o'clock. I'm supposed to be off at 8 o'clock, and I still have a half hour to 45 minutes worth of work to do. And that's if I'm uninterrupted by people. And so here it is, 8 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, I got to do my stuff here. And then the person who just came on before me is having a cigarette. And so I'm, the moment I pass by, my till area, I do work in a convenience store, the moment I pass by the till, suddenly I have a customer there saying, so can you help me? It's like, yeah, I can help you, but inside my head I'm saying, but there should be no reason why I should be expected to. The last scene I want to show on this video is, this actually didn't happen on the trail itself, but it is something that, on my way back home, when I'm so bloody exhausted, I encountered. And so I'm just going to take that on to the end of this video and check it out. I will talk with you later. Just came upon a small snake. Looks like a baby rattler, actually. I'm going to walk around it. Kind of surprised me, though.